Ledger and ConsenSys are just wrong. Just wrong. They are actually going to steal your money or your crypto. And that's the whole point of crypto, is that you're supposed to be able to take possession of your wealth, and no one else is supposed to be able to take possession of it. Yet they don't believe that. We're going to be talking about that and more in today's episode. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm in the Pi 5x5, staying alive here in Dubai. I hope you're doing well. I hope you learn a lot from today's episode, because this is important to anyone who wants to run a business in the crypto industry and creating wallet software. They need to pay attention to this episode and fully understand what they are saying and doing is incorrect in the context of what Ledger has done, what MetaMask has done in the last few days. It is incredible to me that these companies do not see the illogic of their behavior. And I'm going to point that out today. And I hope you enjoy my rant, because it's going to be a good one. You will not only enjoy my laughter and my ranting, but also learn something very important about crypto. And so make sure you stay tuned and hit the like, hit the subscribe, and watch all the way to the end. It really helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. So I appreciate you guys watching the whole video. Okay, with that said, let's jump into the first article of the day. And I know has nothing to do with the title and stuff like that, but I want to bring it up because I think it's also an important topic to discuss. And I know it's a little bit controversial. I know that. I know. Hear me out. A husband hid $500,000 in Bitcoin during the divorce and got busted by a crypto hunter. Okay, so in this story, right? A few months into the divorce proceedings, Sarita thought it was suspicious that her spouse, who earned $3 million annually, didn't have any assets. After spending half a year on discovery and enlisting the help of forensic accounting, a New York housewife eventually tracked down 12 Bitcoins, when then worth $500,000 in a previously undisclosed crypto wallet. Okay, so keep in mind, you don't know what the particulars of this divorce is, right? You don't know. I don't know if she was being abused. You don't know if she was just a housewife who decided, I know I'm going to take him for everything. I plan to marry him and take him for everything. But what are the odds that she was abused over just trying to take him for everything? It's actually higher, right? The other way. So we're going to go with that probability. Right? And so with that said, right, this is the key point of crypto. You don't want to allow people to take you for your wealth, whether it's from the government or from your spouse that's actually trying to steal from you. It is an unfair system that we have now with marriage. Marriage used to be, the laws for marriage used to be fair for women, right? Because they didn't work, right? They weren't allowed to work. So obviously, if you left them, you had to pay. That made sense. But today, they are allowed to work. So they should go and get a job, right? And shouldn't be able to take the wealth of somebody who's built up their wealth. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it because it makes the most sense. In today's society, the laws have to change, or men should not get married. I'm sorry, that's what I believe, because it's a scam in our current system, because they can just go, hey, you know what? It's not happy anymore. Just don't feel it. And take everything you've earned, right? That's just not fair. And that's why I am totally against this. And I think you should always find ways to protect your wealth from an unfair system. And that's what taxes are all about. Unfair wealth transfer to not only the government, but also to people who are earning money from interest payments, right? When they just printed the money. So, for example, a bank or a central bank, when it loans it to the government, for example, the Federal Reserve, they loan money to the government, they collect interest, and then interest goes to people that we don't know who, because it's a private bank. But they didn't have to do anything to create the money. And so I get to work as a slave for them. That doesn't make any sense. So that's why, you want to avoid, if you can, right, reducing your taxes, any legal means necessary, and or leaving the country that's actually taxing you. So that's what I believe in. And this is also a bad tax, so you shouldn't actually sign up for it in the first place. Marriage. It's a bad tax against you because, hey, the laws are totally rigged against you. And so you should protect yourself from this event ever occurring. All right. I know it's going to be controversial. There's going to be lots of comments, fights back and forth. But hey, let's have fun with it. Going on, I run a ledger competitor, but I support it in the blow up over keys. Okay, so let's read what this devil's advocate has to say. It's counterintuitive for a CEO to defend a competitor, particularly when the competitor is rolling out a feature similar to the one we pioneered years ago. But given that the debacle around Ledger's new Ledger recovery feature, it is time to provide a balanced perspective. Okay, so in fact, this company has already done this before. And whatever it is, I want to make sure that you do not purchase a wallet, a hardware wallet from that company. And I'm going to explain why. Why it's my opinion you should not. One, if you have a Ledger, do not upgrade the firmware. And I'll explain why. It makes perfect sense. The company is under fire for releasing an update to its wallet firmware that allows it to send a version of the seed phrase to third parties. But the outrage feels out of proportion. The perception that Ledger is carelessly sending seed phrases to a server is fundamentally misinformed. Let's be clear. The new system is opt-in only, meaning that nothing is going to be removed from your hardware wallet unless you opt in. Sounds pretty benign, right? There's no forced participation or hidden backdoor. Okay? There's no hidden backdoor. It's open backdoor, right? There's a piece of software or a methodology or a protocol where it can actually go in and take the seed phrase. The seeds is locally split, meaning they take it and locally split into 3 encrypted shards using secret share. A well-respected cryptographic process and sent encrypted, a practice the industry has been familiar with for years. Okay, so there is a point when your seed phrase comes to your computer, it's vulnerable. Why is that? Because you could put in hard software into somebody's computer to go and access all the memory and all the RAM and everything that goes on in the computer in order to read. Because when they take the seed phrase, they have to take it unencrypted, split it into 3 parts, right? And use a sumeric secret to create it. So that process of moving it from unencrypted to encrypted, it's vulnerable. Then it gets passed to someone else, those 3 parts, right? Maybe it's sent to 3 different companies, so that it's harder to put it back together. But the problem is, right, there is a way to get your keys back. And once that happens, that means there's someone else that can get the keys. Think about that for a second. You're saying, well, it'd be impossible for a hacker to hack 3 different companies and get this all put together. True, it would be very difficult. 100%. I agree. However, it doesn't. All it requires is a signature for the government to do it. To say, you, give me the keys. And if you don't, jail. That's it. So that's a big problem. You should never lose control over your keys. Another problem is that you have to realize that even though it's a low probability that someone will get a hold of the keys, once the keys leave your possession, you'll always have to worry about if money gets missing, were you neglectful or was it the company? And you don't know that because you're not a software developer. You don't have the skills, to really detect whether or not it's you who made the transaction by mistake or somebody else stole the keys off of you or they did. That's a huge problem. Huge problem. This is why you should not buy a hardware wallet that allows your keys at any point in time ever to leave your wallet. It doesn't matter if it's on an opt-in service. The service, the mere ability of your keys being able to be extracted is the problem. Okay? So, the keys must never leave the device. That's it. So what I would recommend, is you find either a hardware wallet that does that, or if you don't trust any of the hardware companies, you might as well move to an air-gapped system. What is an air-gapped system? It's really simple. You create a computer, you buy a computer, $300 computer, you buy any. There's a lot of them out there, right? And you basically take off all access to the internet and you put the software to do signing of messages, signing of your transactions on that computer, so that you would create the transactions on another computer, sign them on that's hot on a computer that's connected to the internet, and sign them on a computer that's not. This is a lot of work. I've done it myself. It's not fun. Trust me. You have to use a USB key to get the text message to be signed on the next computer. And then once it's signed, you bring the text message back and then you broadcast it. Not a fun thing to do. But that guarantees that no one else has access to keys. But there's still a problem. There is an unlikely event that someone can control the USB that you own, that you're using to move text messages back and forth. And once that happens, you could have a problem where the application could reside on the USB and transfer your keys away from your cold system. It's unlikely because no software exists like that at this current point in time, but it's possible. And so it is not a 100% guaranteed solution. What is a guaranteed solution is a hardware wallet that does not allow your keys to leave the device. Okay. Hopefully that's clear. Hopefully you understand that. This is why I'm like, you guys are so wrong. So wrong. So wrong. I can't believe they would do something like this and just act like, what's the problem? Dude, just create another device, right? That allows people to do that. You create another device called, hey, auto recovery service device or something. Just do it that way. Oh, ouch. Hurts me. It hurts me to think that they can't see the logic. Oh boy. That's my rant. Okay, so we're looking for a remote sales junior agent for NFTSHILL.io. Links are in the description. Please, fill out this form. If you want to come for an interview, you'll be interviewing with me and with Maurizio. If you do apply for this job, so yes, you'll be also directly working with me and Maurizio. So yeah, if you want to work for me, you can by clicking in the description below. Right here, you can see it's right here. Remote sales junior agent for NFTSHILL.io. You click here if you open up your description below. All right, so And also you could click on Bybit, open up account there, or even Femex or OKX. And, actually OKX is now up to $60,000 in bonuses. So, check that out. Okay. Let's head over to my next ranting situation here. I have to rant a little bit more about MetaMask. Is MetaMask withholding customers' crypto for taxes? No, it's not. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. How so? Right? ConsenSys, the company behind the crypto wallet MetaMask, has hosed down rumors that it's collecting taxes from the cryptocurrency users. The company informed its 270,000 Twitter followers on May 22nd that the rumor were based on inaccurate information drawn from misreading of the MetaMask terms and services. Okay, I'm going to cut that off right here, and let's take a read of this terms and services. It says here, and this is in the terms of service, each party will be responsible as required under the applicable law for identifying and paying all taxes and other governmental fees and charges, and any penalties, interest, and other additions thereto that are imposed on that party upon or with respect to transactions and payments under this agreement. Okay, so any transactions and payments. So, I use my MetaMask to receive transactions, to receive payments, right? You don't mention payments from ConsenSys. You don't mention that in that statement. So in that statement, because you're not being exact, you have to take it in a broader sense since you are a wallet company and providing ability to send and receive transactions, send and receive payments in crypto. Okay? You didn't mention the company we're sending and receiving payments from ConsenSys. Okay? You mentioned in general. Okay? All fees payable by you are exclusive taxes unless otherwise noted. We reserve the right to withhold taxes where required. I don't know. I read this and say, in general, if you are not paying your taxes, you can go in and take the taxes. That's what I feel it says. And I think they need to rephrase this, right? So that it says something like this. We will withhold taxes of any individual or business paid by ConsenSys or sales taxes collected. Pretty clear that you have to be paid by ConsenSys, right? Or collecting sales taxes for any reason, that they have to withhold that. That's pretty clear. This is not. This is in general states that they can withhold your income taxes if the government says so. That's what it says there. There's nothing else I can interpret from this, because that's what it generally says. I would like us to have a little bit of conversation in the chat room, in the comment section, because it's, I don't know, just me. Maybe I'm crazy. That's too general. And it means to me that if the government calls them, hello, you're going to need to get us that money over there, they're going to do it. That's what it means. All right. With that said, let's get on to the trading for today. We can see the Bitcoin has bounced and, it hasn't gotten to the point where, I was saying, hey, if it gets up to the 27,555, but we're close enough. We've broken this level. We're broken through this trend line down this level, which means the 27.3. So there is a good chance that we can get up to 28, as we were talking about the other day. So yeah, you might want to trade to that point at this point in time, because we've definitely broken out. I don't like the volume. The volume's a little low, but we can definitely see that there's a chance that, hey, the bulls are in control, and we can have this thing move all the way to 28K before we see any kind of pullback at this point in time. So if you're interested in trading that, make sure you head over to okx.davinci15.com or bybit.davinci15.com for large bonuses. Links are in the description below. Let's head over to Ethereum, because Ethereum, again, is doing the same thing. We've broken, finally on the daily, we're broken above the EMA ribbon, above some a key area where, hey, you know what, you can start taking it along, which is the $18.58. We're above that and heading higher. So was that 50? Actually, 18.48. So let me just make sure, because I have too many greens here. I'm going to change this to red, and there we go. It's 18.48. So yes, we are definitely in a positive situation here, heading down to the 4-hour. That means that Ethereum is above the 200 period moving average, retesting it as it breaks above. We have the bands were closing, tightening, and now we're breaking higher. Odds are we're going to go a lot higher. You might want to just, join in on this trade once you see some sort of like Wing action on the lower time frames. So this is where we'll see Ethereum probably take out. Let's go to a higher time frame and probably try to retest closer to the $2,000 mark. I'm most likely going to get just above the 1937. Let me just do a quick Fibonacci check on this once again. Boom, boom. Yeah, so there we go. You can see right in this area is where we'll see some sort of resistance into this area before we see Ethereum roll over. Can we see Ethereum go higher? Yes, it's possible. Just right now, it is unlikely that Ethereum will continue its run and break higher. We'll probably have to retest the lower levels below 1741 for a bit. Maybe we can bounce above that, bounce just a little bit low below this, but odds are we're going to be retesting this 1740 in the near future. So be ready for that. More so than actually us taking off from here, but it is all possible. The markets will do whatever they want. We're just doing technical analysis to come up with the most likely scenario, which is that it will fail and come back down. So that is the most likely outcome for us to trade. Okay, with that said, thank you all for watching, and thanks for being here. I hope you learned something today. I hope you understand that crypto is about you taking responsibility of your money, just like you take responsibility of cash in your wallet. So if you have cash in your wallet, you have to take responsibility for that. If you leave it somewhere where people are going to take it, they're going to take it. So effectively, you need to be responsible for your own crypto. Now, I do agree with innovation, that these companies are just trying to be innovative. There is a problem with people forgetting their seed phrase, losing their seed phrase, and they're providing solutions for that. Whilst I do support that, I don't support how they're going about it. That's all I'm trying to say. And I hope you understand that. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.